Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Red Donkey Projections. I'm Eric, and we have Lucas as always.
Hey everyone.
Today is August 28th, 2021, and today we're going to be talking about the 2022 regular Senate race in Georgia. More specifically, we're going to be talking about the confirmation of Herschel Walker running for the Georgia GOP. We're going to be talking about the fact that he ran, some controversies that he's facing, previous Senate races, just like the one against Kelly Loeffler and Raphael Warnock. And then we're going to be giving you our final prediction.
With that being said, let's get right into it.
So, as all of you know, and as I've explained, Herschel Walker has officially placed a Senate bid in the Georgia GOP. And this actually it gave a pretty, this is seen as a pretty successful kind of becoming for the Democrats, because Herschel Walker is not necessarily the best candidate, especially to run in the state of Georgia. As all of you know, and as Lucas will dive into, Kelly Loeffler lost pretty badly. It wasn't an upset. I mean, no, it was an upset, but it wasn't in such a big margin. But still, she lost to Raphael Warnock because of the fact that she aligned herself with Donald Trump. And that's exactly what Herschel Walker is potentially doing. Donald Trump has officially endorsed Herschel Walker for the Senate race. And also, he has some controversies that are looming around him. He has an alleged turbulent past, as the Associated Press shown on the video screen. And also, there's allegations that he eventually, allegedly beat his wife, and that, he wasn't a good person, basically, and that got him into a lot of trouble. And also, he's not even from Georgia, and he doesn't have that much political experience, if not any. I think he was like a football player. So that's kind of where he's coming from. But he does have Donald Trump's endorsement, and there's no doubt that he will, go out and campaign for him and nothing stops him. But, it's probably a bad sign if even Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is wary of Herschel Walker's run.
Right. And I also should add that, he was born in Georgia, but a lot of people do view him as a carpetbagger because he's kind of from Texas. I think he played football for Texas, but a lot of people don't like how he's from somewhere else. But as Eric mentioned, this is to the point where even Mitch McConnell doesn't think that Herschel Walker is a good candidate. There are rumors out there that Mitch McConnell was actually the one who helped to release all the stuff about Herschel Walker's past. Mitch McConnell himself has been trying to meet with past politicians like Kelly Loeffler or David Perdue and try to get them to potentially run. However, David Perdue already said he's not going to be running. Kelly Loeffler, we haven't heard from yet, but given Trump's endorsement of Herschel Walker, it makes it incredibly unlikely that anyone else is going to try to run against him because he has kind of cleared the field. Yes, there is one Republican running, I believe, Gary Black. I think he's the Secretary of Agriculture in Georgia. He's running against Herschel Walker. It's going to be an uphill battle for him against Herschel Walker since he does have Trump's endorsement, but it'll be interesting to watch. But as I mentioned, even Mitch McConnell knows that Herschel Walker is not too great of a candidate given his very troubled past regarding his treatment of his wife. That could end up turning off some voters, in addition to some suburban voters potentially being turned off by how close he is to Trump, because he is very close friends with Donald Trump, which could lead to potential issues with those suburban voters, depending on how close he decides to tie himself to him. In 2020, in the runoff election, and the 2021 runoff election. Wow, I can't believe it's been 8 months already since that. But Kelly Loeffler faced issues when she ran a very pro-Trump message. I voted 100% with Donald Trump in Congress. That's what she said in her ads. She did pretty bad in the suburban areas. Raphael Warnock kind of crushed her in some of the more suburban counties, such as Cobb County and Gwinnett County. I believe that these two are more traditionally Republican counties. We also saw him perform pretty well in, which county was it? It was, I believe, in Chatham County, he did pretty well. think there was one more suburban county. I'm forgetting. Oh, Washington County. This was a key one to note, as this was gearing towards or showing hints towards Democratic victory here. And that shows that running very pro-Trump in Georgia might not really do that good for you in this type of general election. I think that Raphael Warnock is actually a decent candidate to run. Of course, his opponent was much worse than perhaps David Perdue was, but regardless, he was able to run ahead of Jon Ossoff by around like 0.8. And speaking of Jon Ossoff, we could also mention that David Perdue was a lot less of a pro-Trump candidate. He was more of, Kelly Loeffler was mentioning Trump in basically every ad she had. David Perdue didn't really mention him as much. Of course, he was still a staunch ally of him. He just didn't mention his name too much. And we saw him perform better than Kelly Loeffler. He got the margin down to 1.2 points, while Warnock won by 2 points, which was actually a surprise to us because our prediction was Jon Ossoff would win by 0.6 and Raphael Warnock would win by 0.8. We did get the victories correct, but the margin of votes and the ticket splitting was much different. So overall, I don't think that a pro-Trump candidate will do super well in Georgia anymore, which is why Herschel Walker might not be a great candidate. And Eric will be making our final prediction on this Senate election with Herschel Walker jumping in.
Yes. So at this point, we're assuming that Herschel Walker will be the Republican nominee and Raphael Warnock will be the Democratic nominee for this upcoming Senate race. There are a few other Republican candidates, such as blanking on his name, but I believe his name is
Gary Black, right?
Gary Black, right? Incumbent agriculture commissioner of Georgia. Other than that, Herschel Walker is not facing anyone that significant. And also, once again, has Trump's endorsement. Very unlikely that someone else will out-primary him unless someone new comes into the equation. But right now, Herschel Walker versus Raphael Warnock, I think Raphael Warnock will definitely get the win here. And it's probably going to be in a lead margin. Once again, Georgia is not a flat-out Democratic state, but it is moving more and more to the left, as we've said in previous videos. Also, given the fact that, as Lucas explained throughout the video, Herschel Walker is not the best candidate to run, but still has Trump's endorsement. And, being pro-Trump does not really help in Georgia. That also does not help his case. And also, Raphael Warnock is a Democratic incumbent. And as of now, he has not done anything outrageous or unpopular. He is relatively liked by the state of Georgia just based on the fact that he hasn't done anything wrong. So given that, he's in pretty good shape as of now. There's still quite ways to go until November of 2022, and we'll see if anything else happens. We will obviously update you, but as of now, it's probably going to go in a lead. I would say around 2 points.
I agree with you completely. Also important to note is that Georgia is becoming more and more diverse. I think we're seeing more African Americans moving to the state, as well as Asian Americans and Hispanics as well. So I agree with you. 2-point margin for win at the moment. And that wraps up the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. If you like this episode, please hit like one. If you like our content, please subscribe. And we'll see you in our next episode tomorrow.
See ya.